For me, the sticking points were when we started writing songs. 9 out of 10 ideas that Mick showed me, he was playing keyboard. And they were mid-tempo, somewhat rock songs, not heavy or anything. They were nice. They were good songs, and the music was nice, but it wasn't dynamic in any stretch of the imagination the way Foreigner 4 was.
In the pantheon of classic rock, few bands have left as unforgettable of a mark as Foreigner, and at the heart of their sound was the powerful, emotive vocals of Lou Gramm. For years, fans have wondered about the real story behind the splits and reunions that defined the latter part of Gramm's tenure with the band. Today, we're dusting off our vinyl and uncovering the truth behind Lou Gramm's departures from Foreigner. The rise of a rock powerhouse.
I remember asking, when I heard the demo tapes in the studio, I asked Mick to play me the vocal on there so I could hear what the melody was, but I don't know why, he wouldn't play it for me. He sang it in my ear. And shut. Yeah. And I went out and tried it right on.
In the sweltering summer of 1976, a new band was taking shape in New York City. Foreigner, the brainchild of British guitarist Mick Jones, was about to change the landscape of rock music. At the center of this musical storm was Lou Gramm, a vocalist from Rochester, New York, whose powerful pipes would soon become one of the most recognizable voices in rock. From the moment Foreigner's debut single, Feels Like the First Time, hit the airwaves in 1977, it was clear something special was happening. Gramm's voice, a perfect blend of grit and melody, soared over the radio waves, captivating listeners and climbing the charts. The band's self-titled debut album went 5 times platinum, setting the stage for a decade of dominance. Throughout the late 70s and 80s, Foreigner became a hit-making machine. Songs like Cold as Ice, Hot-Blooded, Waiting for a Girl Like You, and I Want to Know What Love Is showcased not only Gramm's incredible vocal range, but also his ability to convey raw emotion through his performances. The partnership between Gramm and Jones proved a songwriting powerhouse, crafting tracks that would become the soundtrack to a generation. As Foreigner's popularity soared, so did the demands on the band. Constant touring, recording, and the pressure to outdo their previous success began to take their toll. Despite the outward appearance of a united front, tensions were brewing behind the scenes that would eventually lead to the band's first major rift. The cracks begin to show.
We can't afford to have another album like Head Games, or we'll be looking for a label too, so after we just decided to make that move. Trying to think who we let go.
It was Ian and Al, I think it was.
Ian and Al, yes, that's right. And that was one of the worst moments of my life, because they were good friends and very good players, and they didn't see it coming either.
By the mid-'80s, Foreigner was at the peak of its commercial success. The release of I Want to Know What Love Is in 1984 saw the band reach new heights, topping charts around the world. But this ballad, which became their biggest hit, also marked a turning point in the band's internal dynamics. Gramm, who had always been drawn to harder-edged rock sounds, found himself increasingly at odds with Jones over the band's musical direction. The shift towards more radio-friendly, soft rock ballads didn't sit well with Gramm, who felt the band was straying from its rock roots. This creative tension, while often a catalyst for great art, began to strain the relationship between the two principal songwriters. The pressure of maintaining Foreigner's status as one of the world's biggest rock bands also took its toll on Gramm personally. Like many rock stars of the era, he struggled with substance abuse issues, which affected both his personal life and his professional relationships within the band. The grueling pace of touring and recording, combined with the excesses of the rock lifestyle, created a perfect storm of stress and addiction. As the 1980s drew to a close, the cracks in Foreigner's facade were becoming more apparent. Gramm had already tested the waters of a solo career with his 1987 album Ready or Not, which spawned the hit single Midnight Blue. The taste of individual success, coupled with his growing frustration with Foreigner, set the stage for a dramatic split. The first departure.
The song was going to be a massive hit. it turned out way past our expectations. I had what I feel is a landmark vocal on it for him that he didn't even have to be a part of. You know,
your biggest song.
Yes, and so it went from 70, 75, 25 to 95, 5. And I was looking at him. It was very hurtful. I says, really? I says, what's prompting you to do this? He goes, I'm thinking about it, and that's what I think.
You had said before that it was the beginning of the end for you, right?
Yes, it was. And I felt totally betrayed.
In May of 1990, the tensions finally boiled over. Gramm announced his departure from Foreigner, citing creative differences, with Jones as the primary reason. This split sent shockwaves through the rock community. Free from the constraints of Foreigner, Gramm set out to pursue his own musical vision. He formed Shadow King, a band that allowed him to explore the harder rock sound he'd always favored. While Shadow King's self-titled 1991 album received positive reviews, it failed to achieve the commercial success of his work with Foreigner. The music industry was changing rapidly, with grunge and alternative rock beginning to dominate the airwaves, making it challenging for classic rock artists to maintain their prominence. Despite these challenges, Gramm continued to work on solo material and collaborated with other artists. He contributed songs to movie soundtracks and even lent his vocals to Christian rock band Petra. However, the shadow of Foreigner loomed large. An unexpected reunion.
And a very special appearance by my dear friend, always will be lifelong, Mr. Lou Gramm.
In a twist that few saw coming, Gramm rejoined Foreigner in 1992. The reconciliation came about during the LA riots, a time of turmoil that seemed to put personal differences into perspective. Gramm and Jones set aside their past conflicts and reunited the band, much to the delight of the fan base. This reunion period saw Foreigner release Mr. Moonlight in 1994, an album that achieved moderate success, particularly in Europe. While not reaching the dizzying heights of earlier work, it proved that the magic between Gramm and Jones could still produce compelling music. But the reunion had its challenges. The music industry had changed dramatically since Foreigner's heyday, and the band found itself competing with newer acts for radio play and album sales. And the old tensions between Gramm and Jones had not fully dissipated. Health crisis and perseverance.
Why do you think, and I know you watched 2020, and I know you saw the doctor talking about the tumor in your head, and you were told that it was not operable. You watched that show, you went to visit him. Some of the fans had said, he should be dead. A lot of rockers should be dead, and they're not. But here you are. I know it was a long recovery for you. You had to write some of the lyrics down and stuff. But why do you think you're still here?
Because this is what I was meant to do.
In 1997, Gramm faced a life-altering challenge when he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Though benign, the tumor and subsequent surgery had a significant impact on his health and career. The recovery process was long and difficult, affecting Gramm's memory and vocal abilities. It was a period of intense struggle for the singer, who had to relearn many of his own songs and adapt to changes in his vocal range. But his determination shined through. He persevered through rehabilitation and returned to touring with Foreigner in 1998. But the strain of touring and performing, combined with the lingering effects of his health issues, continued to take their toll. The relationship between Gramm and Jones once again became strained, with disagreements over the band's direction and Gramm's role within it coming to the fore. The final split. In 2003, Gramm made the difficult decision to leave Foreigner for good. This time, the split seemed final, with both Gramm and Jones moving on to new projects. The reasons were multifaceted, a combination of lingering creative differences, the physical demands of touring, and a desire to focus on his health and personal life. Foreigner continued with a new lead singer, while Gramm focused on his solo career and occasional reunions with his former bandmates from Black Sheep. This period marked a significant transition for both Gramm and Foreigner, as they navigated their separate paths in a rapidly changing music industry. The future and final bow. As Gramm approaches his mid-70s, he's begun to contemplate retirement from live performances. In a 2024 interview, he announced it would be his last year of performing, citing the toll that travel takes on him. Quote, "This is gonna be it," Gramm said. "I've been putting it off and putting it off. And I still enjoy performing, but when you've been doing it for as long as I have, the travel is the worst. It really takes its toll, and that's a sign that you're getting old." This decision marks the end of an era for rock music. Gramm's voice has been a constant presence on radio stations and in arenas for nearly 5 decades. His journey with Foreigner, marked by incredible highs and challenging lows, serves as a microcosm of rock and roll lifestyles, the glory, the struggle, and ultimately the legacy left behind. As he prepares to step away from the spotlight, Gramm can look back on a career that has left a mark on the world of music. From his early days with Black Sheep to the heights of fame with Foreigner and his solo endeavors, Lou Gramm's voice has been the soundtrack to countless lives. His story, one of talent, perseverance, and the courage to stand by artistic convictions, continues to inspire musicians and fans alike. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite Foreigner song? Let us know in the comments section below.